I got inspired to make this video when I was watching a recap video of another artist YouTuber, and she called 2019 the year of the wasted paper, which I found genius and then also made me feel better about myself. I really didn't have plans to make a video about my own artistic journey in 2019 because I thought nothing really happened. I don't have that much to share. But now I'm thinking that's exactly why I need to make this video, to keep it real. In January, I made this video giving tips on how to set art goals. I rewatched that video and I think the tips are really good. I just didn't quite follow my own advice. And that always makes me feel a little bit like a phony, like I'm an imposter and I don't deserve to make videos. And of course I can't have all the answers and still not follow my own advice and still give good tips, and I don't know, I think the majority of YouTube does that. But honestly, I want to make videos that actually present what's happening rather than the wishful thinking. I think that's more inspiring to, at least to me, so I'm kind of thinking maybe to most other people as well. So yeah, so here I am recapping my artistic 2019, and it won't be a very long video. Now, about the art video that I made about setting art goals, I will put a link in the description and probably somewhere in the card thingies up here. But to just really quickly go over what I talked about it was 3 tips. Number 1 was don't set too challenging of an art goal for yourself. If it's too daunting, you're just not going to stick with it, so don't make it too challenging for yourself. It's always nicer to over-deliver than to under-deliver. So if you set like a small goal, I don't know, maybe it doesn't stretch you as much as a higher goal would. But yeah, I guess it's part of your personality type. Do you like to aspire to really, really high goals, or do you get more of a rush from finishing one thing and then you want to, go higher with it? Does that make any sense? Tip number 2 was to visualize the goal, which I think is a brilliant thing to do. It's just something that you have to remind yourself to do. As is tip number 3, which is to look at your big goal and then kind of chop it up into small actionable steps, and you kind of have to revise those throughout the year. So tips number 2 or 3 are really things that you have to continuously do throughout the year for them to work. And I did not do that whatsoever. But I am more prepared this year. This year I set a timer on my phone for once a week where I just want to visualize my goals for the year. So I don't know, maybe that'll help. I will keep you informed on how that works at the very latest at the end of next year, because I think doing a recap video is actually a pretty good thing, pretty good tradition to do. Now, the art goal that I set for myself this year was do more of what I enjoy, plus start experimenting more. And I guess I did start on that. It's not a very challenging goal, as I said, and I did start on it. I wouldn't say that I totally delivered on it. But yeah, okay, let's talk about what happened this year. I basically didn't produce any art for the first several months, so I think I really started out with that burst of productivity in May that I had. And by that I mean that in a time span of about 2 weeks, I produced like 5, maybe even 6 paintings, which was, it was kind of like a project that was going on. And I just didn't question anything. I just did. And I'm not saying that I produced the most wonderful artwork during that time, but it's also nothing to be ashamed of. And especially I made a peacock painting in acrylic paint, which I really still like. Yeah, I would hang that up. I don't have it here right now, but I will show the artworks that I made during that time on the side. So yeah, I really enjoyed the peacock because I'm not too familiar with acrylic paint, and I made that and I think it turned out really well considering. Then also what happened during the summer was that I made 1 dry brush portrait. Really, it was only just the one. Actually, that's the one that I have here still so I can show you. I made this dry brush portrait. That's my nephew. And I wanted to experiment with a color gradient. So as you can see, I have up here, I started with green, and then I went over to black and blue. So I don't think that that worked out very well, because the black that I chose is overall a little too warm and doesn't really go with the blue or the green. And what I had in mind was to mix it more with the green. Yeah, it just didn't work out. I really wish that, I don't know, I would have had to have a different idea. But I mean, I do like the concept of it, and I think I will explore color gradients for dry brushing a little bit more, because I find that interesting. So yeah, that's the only dry brush portrait of the year, which is rather embarrassing, but yeah, as I said, wanted to keep it real, so that's really all that happened. And then I just picked up my sketchbook again in December, you know, time after Christmas. I don't have to go to work now, and I could start experimenting again. The other thing that I want to mention is that procrastination is a very big problem right now, because I don't know, I feel resistance to everything. I don't know, when I thought about the Christmas break, I thought, oh, I will have so much time to brew stuff, but I don't know, that brings up so much resistance, and I just can't really see myself working through it. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do now, and just sit with the resistance and try to scare it away by analyzing it, staring it in the eye, and just creating anyway. That's the plan for the next few days until I have to go back to work. Anyway, yeah, that's my recap. As far as new goals, I will just keep up with doing what I love and experimenting with new things. I will just keep that goal because it's, I don't know. And then I will try to visualize and take actionable steps from my bigger goals. I guess I have goals in other areas as well, so I will try that. And with that, if your 2019 wasn't super productive either, don't feel bad, because we're all in the same boat here. And yeah, let's see what kind of results we get in 2020. I will see you in the next year. Bye.